Well, dear listeners, it's your old friend Shadar here to tell you what happened previously on The Violet Madness. The Death Knight's fall brought a fragile calm to Berinthas. The town endures, for now. With the immediate threat gone, my thoughts turned to matters less dire, though no less unsettling. An evening with Mina. The date proceeded without incident. There were silences, comfortable on my part, but I sensed the lingering quiet as a less tasteful impression on Lady Mina. There was uncertainty, yet the festival lent the night a strange softness. Music, lantern lights, fireworks, and a quiet illusion, peace. For a time, Berinthas wore the mask of a place untouched by death. That illusion did not hold, however. We encountered a figure whose presence carried ill intent, offering me a painted portrait I did not ask for. It was a reminder that death rarely announces itself loudly. It waits. It watches. The night ended with honest words and a connection neither of us could deny. But as we parted, an eruption of flames consumed the town center of Berinthas. The calm fractured. Death, I fear, is not finished with this place.
And rolling back the clock here to earlier in the day when you emerged from the catacombs, Shadar and Mina have made their way back to the Briarhearth Inn. Daemon and Aelfric, I presume, doing the same almost straight away, but we're going to focus the start of this little segue adventure with Sir Tirion reporting back to the Temple of Torm. Sir Tirion, I'd like to think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, been mostly silent since coming out of the catacombs, kind of a knowing air, this aura. After vanquishing the Death Knight, you've freed a soul, a lost soul, and returned him into the good graces of Torm. And
less vanquished, more released a haunted spirit, let's say.
You did indeed get a new sword out of the bargain, a sword at the Parents. And
shiny.
Absolutely, yeah. So upon entering the Temple of Torm, you are greeted by some of the acolytes. Of course, everyone knew where you had been. And with almost wide-eyed bewilderment, they greet you and bring you in. Brother, we're back so soon. Is it done?
Our dear brother has indeed been released into our Lord's favor.
Oh, praise be to Torm. This is amazing. This is fantastic news. Please let us tend to your wounds, Cynthessia. We will fetch her, and they kind of like guide you in almost. And mere moments later, the doors to Cynthessia's office kind of swing open, and she kind of, as is her gracious way, less kind of strides out. She kind of more kind of flows out, and she looks upon you as you're being tended to, and looking less surprised as the acolytes, but still with a look of almost amazement, subtle amazement as she approaches you, Sir Tirion. You really are quite the powerful paladin, aren't you? I could feel the presence of this unholiness almost instantaneously fade away. I knew there and then you were successful in your conquest.
Well, I can't claim all the success. I do travel with some very capable companions who, without their aid, I most definitely would have failed.
It's still uncanny that a small group of people could overcome such a tremendous evil. We've seen droves in there and with not success. the entire town of Berinthas is in your debt, Sir Knight.
No, they can pay alms to Torm and thank me in other ways, but I believe it's just my resolute faith was unbreakable. And that was truly what won the day. If I had showed any doubt in Torm, we may not, I may not be standing here before you, and your problem could be ongoing.
She takes her hand, her holy symbol that's kind of draped around her neck in her hand, and she glances towards the altar in the temple, and she looks back at you. She says, "Spoken like a true paladin, one of unshakable faith. Commendable, truly, truly commendable. Well, as I say, the entire town of Berinthas is in your debt, but as I said, as I said to you before, I will arrange for that meeting with the mayor.
Yes, of course.
Mayor Hasker. I could arrange a meeting as soon as this evening if that is suitable.
Perhaps I should clean myself up first.
Of course, there's hours before.
I wouldn't want to meet the mayor before I turned up at his residence or a place of meeting with tarnished armor and bloodstains.
Well, please let us tend to your the cleansing of your armor, and please, you are free to use healing facilities here, and we will feed you and make sure you're. It's only about 1 o'clock in the afternoon anyway, so you've like hours before you have an audience with said mayor.
Oh, well, I suppose that then, if the facilities are here and free, I would be obliged. I'm sure your whetstones are much finer than the ones in the inn.
Very good, very good. Well, please make yourself at home.
Thank you. And I assume the fogged visions stopped when the presence seemed to fade.
Well, it's a little too early to tell. There may be some lingering effects, but I could feel a weight being lifted. Surely the moment you absolved that poor soul.
I merely aided him in his realization that he was never alone, and he threw judgment in the wrong place.
Again, she kind of clasps her holy symbol. This is the true heart of it. You cannot simply slay a death knight with steel or magic. You must cleanse the soul. You can only do that with a steeled resolve and words of comfort and encouragement in faith.
When one stares into the dark tends to stare back, and you cannot flinch.
One might even say that you hold a light to said darkness.
Until my final breath, that is our duty.
She kind of nods, kind of as if kind of absorbing the words, and then kind of like snaps out of that little trance and says, well, yes, you must rest, and we will tend to your armor, as I say, and we'll get you fed, and we'll put you before an audience with Julianus Hasker before the day is done.
Oh, well, I thank you for your efforts with Mayor Hasker.
Back at the inn, Daemon and Aelfric, presumably in your respective rooms, you have a dinner with the young lady Ven, a white kind of ivory-colored tiefling that you had met previously, Daemon, in the Temple of Torm. Quite a lively, kind of timid young woman. Seemed very keen to get to know you because she hadn't seen a tiefling before. So to see someone like her was rather exciting, and she invited you back to dinner with her and her adoptive mother, your Edivane, who's the apothecary in town.
Yeah.
And is there anything you would like to do at the inn before heading out for dinner that afternoon?
Can you remind me, just because it's been a minute since I spoke to that young lady.
Mm.
She wasn't affected by the kind of madness that most people were, was she?
Oh no, she seemed very happy.
Right, yeah.
She was very happy and enthusiastic about meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously getting back, kind of a bit tired, a bit beat up. Wasn't too bad of a fight as it could have been, luckily. Tirion taking the brunt of most of what happened there, mentally and physically. Daemon will probably take some time to freshen up, get his good clothing out of his bag, kind of thing. He has a couple of like nice pieces, and then like a dress piece that he would have for official things. He'd be cleaning himself up, getting himself ready, making himself look presentable to be introduced to a mother of someone, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Aelfric, anything particular before?
No, just recovering from the exertions of the day. Aelfric took a reasonably bad beating, so he's a little bit tattered, a little bit on the tired side. So yeah, just tending to some of his wounds a little bit.
Okay, so so for Tyrion, Daemon, and Aelfric, that would be a short rest, not a long rest. So you can roll the appropriate hit dice for that. You guys spend a couple of hours just kind of, healing, bathing, eating, whatever the case might be, and it's about 4:30. Damon, when you're kind of set and ready to go for dinner, and you kind of go over to Alfric's room, pick him up, and you guys head downstairs. And it's when you go downstairs, there's quite a number of people at the bar and kind of sitting around having food, and it catches your eye that there at the bar, kind of by himself, is Shadar, and he's wearing a kind of formal wear, not his typical travel / battle gear. He almost looks like Nicolas Cage in Face Off when he's wearing that kind of priest getup.
They were my words.
Yep. But he kind of gives you a nod, and you kind of give him a wave. You kind of leave him to his own devices, and you kind of you head out onto the street.
So he's not doing the crazy dance that he does in that film, then.
No, he's kind of just he's sitting at the bar, just kind of drinking something, and he's actually, you can see he was kind of talking to the bartender a little bit. But yeah, you kind of wander out onto the street, and the apothecaries is just kind of north, just a little bit north up the town. It's not too far, and you can see that the stalls for the festival this evening have been kind of set up. There's like a number of food stalls, a number of flower stalls, games, that kind of thing, like different, like little slivers of entertainment here and there. And as you kind of walk along the street just adjacent the river, you find yourselves at the apothecaries, which is the Bright Root Apothecary, just to the north of town there, and of course, presumably knocking on the door. Or is there anything
just before?
Yeah. Yep.
Just before you knock on the door, Aelfric.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure your knowledge on people like myself, but I wouldn't know too much myself either, other than obviously what I know through family lineage, but this girl seems to strike me as, even for my standards, being quite different. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of a white version of me to warrant a better wording?
I'm afraid my knowledge of your kind is somewhat limited. A fascinating subject, of course, but not one that I've delved into in great detail yet. Although if there's anything that you want to find out after this dinner, I'd be more than happy to help you conduct some research.
Well, of course, I know where my direct lineage comes from, but I don't know if that's the case for everyone that looks like me. You understand? Um, Maybe something to look into. I mean, quite honestly, if we are going to be going up against my mother and father, and potentially my sister at some point, have Sir Tirion have his way, then maybe it would be best if we got to know more about it.
Indeed, knowledge is power, as they say.
Indeed. Gelfond was a lovely one for that.
Yes, I don't think anybody would doubt how powerful he was.
Exactly. Must admit, I'm quite nervous right now, so I may need you to jump in every now and again if I get trumped.
I just remember you were facing off with a Death Knight not too long ago. I'm sure nothing in this dinner will be too terrifying.
Hopefully not. Okay, and I knock on the door.
There's a bit of a scuffle heard, the kind of shuffling of feet as the door opens a couple of seconds later, and a halfling woman answers the door. Kind of a strawberry blonde, curly hair, wearing a kind of green tunic and kind of brown kind of pants, but it seems to have like a bit of kind of yellowish dust on it. She kind of bats that off, and she says, "Oh, welcome. Ven told me all about you. Come on in, come on in, come on in." And you can smell. You can smell baking. There's pie being baked for sure. Fruity, kind of blueberry kind of pie. You can kind of think it is as you kind of walk in the door, and yeah, she ushers you down the hallway. Please, can I take your jacket or? Bear in mind, she's about up to the size of like your hip.
Yeah. Actually, I'm quite all right. Very nice to meet you. Hello. Good evening. My name is Daemon
Phileas
Venus.
Venus. Yes, Vince told me all about you. You're the tiefling lad, and this is your good friend.
Aelfric. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course, Aelfric Elnoran, very pleased to make your acquaintance. It's a delightful place that you've got here.
Oh, well, we do our best, eh? Come in, come in. And
Thank you.
ushers you in, and when you kind of come into the kind of kitchen area, you can see that there's several pots on a stove steaming. There's also a brew being kind of boiled on another kind of little kind of almost like a smaller stove. Looks like a hot plate, but obviously not. But it's being brewed there. So the kitchen is a cacophony of like scents and steam. And there at the center of all this happening is Ven, and she's wearing this kind of this apron, and she's tending to all of the pots and the saucers and the plates and the cutlery, and she's setting this kind of four-seater table in the center of the kitchen, and she looks up at you both and she just beams. She says, "Oh, welcome. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you came. I've been telling Mom here all about you." Aye, she has, and it's very rare we get people like our vet here. I'm sorry, is that okay to say? I mean,
Trust me, my dear. I've heard a lot worse said about me. You're fine.
well, please have a seat. Would you prefer like a cold drink, or would you like some tea, or?
If you have something cold and refreshing, that would be most delightful.
Absolutely, yes. And for yourself, young man, young Aelfric, wasn't it?
Yes, a tea would be splendid, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And she kind of ushers you to your seats, and she said, "Don't worry about that. I'll take care of all this. You sit down and chat to Daemon and Aelfric here." And she's kind of busying herself with that as kind of then picks up the kind of chair closest to you, Damon, and sits next to you. Can I ask you both to make a perception check?
Sure thing.
Not my greatest skill, but we'll have a go. That's a natural 20, so I guess that helps.
Nice. A 16 for me.
First roll of the game.
So so as kind of Fen takes a seat next to you, Damon, you're kind of just taking in the surroundings a bit. You kind of came down this hallway toward the kitchen, and it's a bit of a cramped space. It's a small little kind of living situation that they have here. You presume that most of the building is actually taken up by the actual shop. They live kind of around the side of the shop. And there is just a small little window next to where the stove is, and then there's like a back door. But then there's another door that you presume like leads into like a living area or a bedroom or something of that nature. But for now, you're just kind of a little bit kind of cozied up in this almost 15-foot by 10-foot kitchen. It's rather small. The table is narrow, but you're all kind of sitting around it, save for Yora. And you see kind of assorted, kind of dried flowers and dried kind of apothecary supplies, like not wilted, but just kind of preserved flora from some that you might recognize and some that you might not. But what you do notice as well, among more other ornaments kind of on this kind of high shelf around the kitchen, is that there is a portrait hung on the wall. It is of Ven, and she just has, it's a very pleasant oil painting of her with a nice smile on her face. That's just hung up there, and she kind of sees you glancing at that, and then kind of follows your glance. She says, "Oh, that got that at the festival last month. It was quite nice, actually. It makes me feel better about myself. A lot of people
Why do you feel
stare.
bad about yourself?
Well, a lot of people tend to stare. Kind of unusual appearance, I suppose. But having this just makes me feel good about myself. And seeing you here makes me even feel better again. It makes me feel more, I don't know, normal."
Well, first of all, let me tell you something. You say people stare because you're unusual.
Yes?
Did you ever think to yourself that people stare because they stare at beautiful things? If you go to a museum, if you go to a place where you see artwork, do you not stare at it, admire it, enjoy it? Because it's beautiful. Doesn't necessarily mean because you're different, odd.
She kind of blushes at that, and she was kind of looking at you, but she kind of looks away, kind of smile kind of grows on her face, and you kind of hear Yora, kind of, who still has her back to you, tending to the pots and pans and stuff. She goes, "Hey, you know how to win a girl over, eh?" And she's like, "Mom, stop. No, that's very kind of you to say. I know, I've never thought of it that way."
I'm just saying there's always a different point of view. In fact, there usually is 3 points of view. Yours, theirs, and the overall.
What's the overall?
Well, the overall is that in this world and in this life, more often than not, there will be some that like you, some that don't. The ones that you don't, you ignore. Let them pass by like the mists that they are. Those that do like you, well, you get to hopefully enjoy some lovely company in the meantime. Take my friend Aelfric here. Obviously, much, much different from myself. That's actually one of the things I most enjoy about him. He can unapologetically be him, and I like that.
Well, likewise, I think we make a quite a good team.
So
Um,
stop apologizing for who you are and what you look like.
have you have you ever found out where it is you came from?
Oh, yes, I know where I hail from.
And did that give you a sense of belonging, a sense of, I don't know, a sense of purpose, excitement? What did it feel like? At this point, Yora is kind of visibly kind of no longer actually busying herself. She's kind of almost pretending to work to in order to like eavesdrop. Well, not eavesdrop as such because she's in this small room with you, but she's obviously listening to what you're about to say.
The Mrs. Doyle. Like
Mm.
she's at the kitchen door listening in on the conversation kind of thing. Do you want a cup of tea? That kind of idea.
Well, yeah, like she's interested in what you have to say as well, but she's trying to be subtle about it.
Yeah. Quite honestly, I'll be frank with you. Where I came from, specifically, is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for the people here of this lands. And it's not even good for the people there where it is. But that's mostly because of other people that are there. You see, I can't say for you necessarily specifically because I do understand there's different places of which we could hail from. But for the most part, we are seen as, there's no better word for it, but demons, monsters, the things under the bed. It's not always the case, and especially those that are raised here, such as yourself, people find that we're actually quite pleasant and we're very helpful and very nice. But unfortunately, where I'm from and the people that I am from aren't the nice ones.
There's the hissing of a kettle as Yora tends to that. She says, "Oh, blimey, uh, I run out of more wood for the stove. Damon, you're a strapping young lad. Would you give me a hand out the back and get more firewood?
Absolutely, I will. Of course.
Please." She kind of goes out the kind of back door, and assuming you follow.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. And Damon is very much in the mindset that this is the, you know, don't give her any like horror stories kind of conversation that he's about to have with her kind of thing. So he's preparing himself for that.
Um, while you exit out the back door, Damon, Ven gets up and says, "Oh, well, while he's doing that, I'll please. Plenty of we have blueberry pie for dessert, but I'm happy to serve up some of the food we have here." And she starts kind of getting up to load on some food onto the plate for you, Aelfric. As you kind of shut the door behind you, Damon, kind of evening time is really and truly set in now, and there's kind of magical fireworks in the distance from the festival, kind of illuminating the sky, but a lot more silently than you would with like regular pyrotechnics. These are just magical, and you can hear the distant chatter of the townsfolk enjoying the festival further in. But Yora is just kind of gathering up a few logs of firewood, and she kind of turns to you and says, "It's true then, eh? You're your kind, they have decent backgrounds at times, eh?
Don't get me wrong, it's not always the case.
You seem like a good lad, but just the family tree doesn't seem to be very appealing, eh?
I can tell you right now, I went to great lengths, and he just gives like a clink clink on his leg to step away from those that wish to do harm.
Aye,
That's not of my mindset.
aye, and I want nothing for the best for my Ven, you know. Truth be told, I found her when I was out. Well, this is 16 years ago now. She was but a baby. I was near the Crinal mines picking up some ingredients. There's a rare herb that grows up there. It's called the Ven leaf, and I found her in amongst them, you know, and her mother lay dead, not too far away from it. She was she was a drow woman. Yeah, and I never did tell Van about it, but I said I didn't know who she was, and that's why I called her Ven. And after the Ven leaf, it's a rare plant. You only find it around there, you know. And
So her mother was a drow, but well, obviously, I'm assuming at some point her father then must have been a like me.
aye,
It
aye.
would certainly explain some of the coloration. I'm not quite sure how to put it. She's very, very unique.
What does it mean, though? Like, is she in danger? Like, growing up, we animals, they never they never come near her, or she would always hear of whispers, you know, something in her ear, someone talking to her. But I can't. She says she doesn't hear it anymore, but I'm not so sure.
Would you like me to try and get to the bottom of this?
I think I do. I think I do.
Just to be clear, I don't hear voices, so it's not a racial thing, if that's what you're wondering.
I think I might be able to help answer this question about the voices. Another voice comes from further away. But let's jump back to Sir Tirion.
Ooh.
You are freshened up, Sir Tirion. Your armor is polished, and you are ready for an audience with the mayor. Are you donning your armor? Or are you dressing casually? Okay, you're always dressed for business. Always dressed for business. You never know. Yep. Cynthessia says, as it happens, the mayor is actually about the town this evening. So he knows you're coming. She hands you a map of the town. Says he's here by this tent in the center of town.
Oh,
he's expecting you, and he wishes to commend you for the service done for the town today. So please, at your leisure, feel free to obviously peruse the fair. There's much festivities taking place, and quite frequently, I must add, as well.
It was. Please remind me if I'm mistaken, but it was the mayor's idea to increase the frequency of the Harvest Festival, was it not?
Correct. Yes, it was an annual event, but then it turned to quarterly, and now it's almost happening every month. It seems to just brighten people's spirits. I don't really involve myself in such festivities myself.
Could be.
But I do have good rapport with the mayor. He's a good man, decent fellow. Done a lot for the town.
Oh, well, things other than just increasing the frequency of festivals. What other acolytes has he got to his name? Just so I know the manner of the man I'm meeting.
Acolytes, I'm not quite sure. He has a butler. Not sure of the man's name, but
No, no. I mean, perhaps my wording was not exactly cohesive there. What other things has he done for the town? His accomplishments, one may say. What improvements has he made?
well, not if I it can be brash to say, probably not much since his father passed away and he assumed the role of mayor in the last decade. Well, yeah, it's more of a formality, I suppose. We do have elections for mayor, but the Hasker family has overseen proceedings in Berinthas generations. Human generations, but...
And so he has been the mayor for roughly 10 years, and it's in the last year he has improved the town drastically with the festival frequency.
I would say the last 3 months.
Oh, okay. I see.
Well, 3 to 6 months, maybe, yes, roughly, yeah.
Well, I'm sure it is all positives for the town, and I must commend him on his accomplishments upon our meeting.
He's very well liked among the townspeople.
Oh, yeah, the town does seem to be overly happy in some occasions. It may seem. But I suppose now they have something to celebrate. The festival and the hidden evil which dwelled beneath their feet is released.
Well, thankfully,
in a positive fashion.
Much of the townspeople didn't know there was a threat to be dealt with in the first place, but yes.
It seems like most of them are oblivious regardless. Yes, but I thank you, Cynthessia. I will make due haste to the festival and meet Mayor Hasker.
As you walk through the town, there's numerous amounts of performers on the street, bards and other actors, kind of things like that, and there are like stalls, people playing games, having fun. You walk by this just by the bridge where there are like several colorful buntings, and as you're kind of walking toward the center of town, you hear a voice in your head. It's Mina's voice.
There's a man at the festival who is trying to capture smiles. Beware. I think he's involved in the creepiness.
As you reach the center of town, a little bit more on guard than you were, you get to the town center, and there's a large white tent that kind of dominates most of the smaller stalls, kind of enveloped around it, and within you see a singular man sitting on a kind of high stool with an easel in front of him, and perched on a lower stool is a young man in kind of like a red kind of tunic with a gold trim. He's wearing these kind of blue pants and nice shoes, and there's a young woman next to him who kind of seems to be like really kind of happy with him getting his portrait done, apparently, because the man is just looking at his subject sitting on the stool, and he's kind of very carefully kind of with careful brush strokes on the canvas, and it's a small canvas. It's like almost like an A4 almost sized canvas, and he's just kind of finishing kind of things up, and we're done here, I think. Yes, and he kind of flips it around, and you can see as you're kind of walking into underneath this tent now, it is an oil painting of the young man, and with a beaming smile on his face, and he takes the painting, and he's like, this is fantastic. Thank you, Mayor Hasker. This is absolutely. I feel elated, honestly. And the woman next to him. See, honey, I told you would love it. You were so apprehensive, and I'm so glad I got you to. Now we can hang both of ours up together in the house. And the man, he's kind of a bit of a gaudy looking guy, kind of fading, a kind of like a fading hairline, and he's dressed in kind of finery. He was kind of sitting kind of cross-legged on the stool, painting away. He was very comfortable in what he was doing, and he just seems very pleased that the couple have enjoyed the experience, and they're happy with the outcome. And he goes, "Well, do enjoy the rest of the festivities," and he kind of looks towards you, Sir Tirion. "Ah, you must be the Paladin that's come into town. The Hand of Torm, isn't that it?"
Yes, that is definitely what I am known as, the Chosen Hand. But, I mean, most people just call me Sir Tirion, but please, I assume you are Mayor Hasker?
Indeed, I am, but he's about to extend a hand to shake, but this woman sits on the stool. I'm next, aren't I, Mayor? Oh, yes, of course. And he kind of addresses the crowd. There's about a crowd of 20 people kind of around inside the tent. Now, we're going to take a 20-minute break, and I'll be back to do your portrait next, Julia. Why don't everyone just get a refreshment from one of the stalls here? I'm going to just hold palaver with my good friend, the knight here. He's done excellent work within this town. Yes, enjoy, and I will be back. And come, Sir Tirion Shadowbane. Cynthessia has told me all about you and your services to the town. Let's walk. Let's walk. And,
of course. And he'll follow his lead.
And he's kind of walking. He's set his paintbrushes in his little paint palette down, and he's kind of walking with his hands kind of clasped behind his back down by the river bank. So you've removed the threat that plagued our town for quite some time.
He has been released to be at peace, yes.
And I hear it was the spirit of Sir Dagar that has eventually cursed the halls of the catacombs.
The curse truly was upon him. He was merely confused and troubled. Just needed to be guided to peace.
It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing that to be blessed with such power, and for it to turn you into something sinister if the faith would waver, or if the oath should break. It's a fine balance to hold to. Would you agree?
Oh, without question, it is unlike our cleric counterparts, one may say, who are gifted directly from our gods. Us paladins, it is the belief in our own selves that empowers us, and when that belief begins to waver, awful things can happen.
And it's a powerful thing, that belief. A belief in one's own innate abilities. To bring peace, to bring joy to the good people of this land. It's a true joy.
It can be very difficult, especially in times like these with the madness.
Of course. I despaired for the town when the madness struck. And I'm not a fighter. I'm not a cunning economist. I was barely a mayor to these people. But we found solace in community, in striving to work together to create something great in time of need. A time for people to come together and help each other when essentially the rest of the nation hung in turmoil. And here we are, happy, smiling faces all around. I took such a simple concept, the Harvest Festival, and took it and made it something more. Again, I don't mean to compare my, shall we say, creative aptitude, to your connection to your god, and your prowess in combat, and your unyielding faith. But in essence, the concept is quite similar. No, we're doing something to help the common man, for helping people through turbulent times. No?
Of course, Mayor Hasker, I can't help but notice that you used the past tense of was just a simple mayor. Well, Cynthessia did say that the festival idea began to increase recently, almost, if my timelines appear to match here, the release of the madness. What on earth gave you the inspiration to do such things?
Sometimes when you are in the depths of your despair, you find true inspiration, and let me tell you, Sir Tirion Shadowbane, that the people of this town were despairing, and I felt helpless as their mayor, as their leader, as it were, to see them suffering and to be at a loss of what to do. It struck me that no, as one man there is nothing I can do, but to band together, to be that glue that binds the townsfolk of Berinthas together, to support one another, and to create something truly unbreakable among the townsfolk. Something that binds us together, to pick us all up when we're almost at a yield to the turbulent times that are around us, to the hardships. That's what the Harvest Fair has been around for decades, generations. And it was an annual festival to celebrate the yield for the year, and to pray to the gods that the next year's yield will be even greater. And, well, I thought to myself, that brought joy once a year. Why can't we bring that joy multiple times a year? And the people went for it. They loved it. And it started off with something so simple. A few food stalls. I offered up my artistic skills. It took off from there. It's give and take. We don't charge anything for this. We don't charge one another. We just simply give. And it makes one happier to just give. And just not expect anything in return, just to help your fellow man.
Oh, I have to say that was one of the first things we noticed upon entering your beautiful town. Wasn't extra barricades and checkpoints entering. It was just how happy so many of your townsfolk seemed to be.
And that's what makes it stick in your mind, doesn't it? Berinthas, the friendliest town in all of Castonia.
Happiest place on earth.
The happiest place on earth. And he kind of stops. He kind of stops walking, and he's kind of by the windmill in town now, or the watermill in town next to the bridge, and he kind of looks out across the river where you see lots of people enjoying themselves, playing games, eating food, enjoying each other's company, and he kind of takes in a deep breath. The happiest place in the land. And kind of almost out of nowhere, another man emerges. He's wearing kind of a dark grey kind of formal wear with a silver trim, kind of greased back hair. He gives you a kind of a curt nod, and Hasker says, "Ah!" And the man just kind of leans in, whispers something in your ear, and can I ask you to make a perception check?
Sure. I can do a decent one. It's a real question. That'll be a natural 1 for a 3.
Yeah, the man whispers something in Mayor Hasker's ear, and Hasker kind of just nods. The man then, the other man with in the kind of grey and silver kind of outfit, he just kind of gives you another glance, nods, and walks past you, back towards the middle of town. Mayor Hasker just kind of takes in another breath and kind of looks up at the stars. Another bout of fireworks happens in the sky, and His face illuminates in a pale pink color for a moment, and he looks back at you. Come, why don't we enjoy some more of the festivities in the middle of town? Sir Tirion, how do you feel about getting your portrait painted, eh?
Oh no, I'm not the vain sort. Unfortunately, my name may precede me, but I do appreciate when people aren't fully aware of who they are to expect. It can take away the element of surprise when necessary. But I thank you, Mayor Hasker.
Well, why don't you come back with me regardless? I have some more paintings to do. Why don't you mingle with the crowd, get to know the place better?
Oh, I truly would enjoy perusing your festival and seeing just what makes this town so happy.
A fine idea, my good man, a fine idea. Come, 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 there's much to see and do. Back at Yora's house. Daemon, that voice in the backyard. A figure emerges from the corner of the house, and Yora just kind of takes a step back and kind of, I don't know, lets out a little kind of squeak, almost like a fright. And this tiefling, a red tiefling, emerges from the shadows. He's kind of low horns, like no prominent horns, but he does have like black hair that's kind of short and kind of, I don't know, like a kind of comb over, and he has just like a little kind of thin pencil mustache and a little goatee. He says, I think I might know about those voices you're talking about, my dear. Who the bloody hell are you? I did not mean to that's a lie. I totally meant to eavesdrop. I'm very interested in what's going on here, and I do believe we have a common goal in mind. You want to know more, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of something. And you, hey, pointing at you, Daemon, you, my boy, you are just an interesting specimen of a man, aren't you? This is the wild card thrown into the mix. Where do you hail from?
Just to check above the table, we've established before that I'm able to tell when someone is my sister because she's very good at disguising herself and the way she looks and stuff. Is it her?
It is not.
Okay, that's the first question. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Well, I suppose we have each other at a disadvantage. I didn't quite catch your name, but you may relish in the personified version of delight itself. My name is Delight. And you are?
Someone.
Someone.
And
well,
what exactly do you delight in?
I delight in the protection of investments, shall we say.
And what investments do you have here that you're interested in?
Yeah, if this is about Vin, you better stay away from her, you. As I say, my lady, the protection of investments, I mean no ill will towards your sweet Vin. I mean to help her, actually. It appears your sweet young girl has been cursed. And that
what
just
kind of
won't
curse is this then?
There is a curse about this wretched town that's causing people to be painfully pleasant. It's quite distasteful, even for my standards, and I relish in a good old time.
And you think she's affected?
I know she's affected. I can smell it off her. I can smell it off most of the people in this blasted town. And so I am sent here to do what I do best and make sure things are set right for particular people.
Sent by who?
Oh, I can't just tell someone.
Okay. Show of faith. You tell me who sent you, I'll tell you my proper name.
How about show and tell? How about we do this the old tiefling way? You give me a taste of your bloodline and I'll give you a taste of mine.
No.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
Trust me, my dear. I don't think you could handle my bloodline.
Oh, now I must simply have a taste. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top, old boy.
I think it's about time you left. Do not inquire about this girl again. Do not see fit to approach her in any way.
I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm afraid I cannot. I'm here for a reason. I'm here to protect her. What are you going to do? You don't even know what's going on. Gormless old boy.
See, someone that's generally there to protect others don't usually find it hard to share information. They're not usually as conniving and scheming as you would be. So, leads me to believe that you're full of shit.
I'm a very well informed man. I know what's going on in this town. We could help each other. As a sign of good faith, I will tell you, and he pointing at Yora now, I will tell you where your daughter comes from. I will tell you I will show you who her daddy is. But I have to have a taste of that bloodline.
Of
Yours.
hers, of
No,
mine.
of yours. You've intrigued me, old boy. I need to have a taste.
Okay, if we're to do this, I'll taste yours first. If I don't like what I see, because you're actually lying to me, then we'll see where it goes from there.
It seems we're at a stalemate. No. Same time.
There is another way I can get your blood. I'm choosing not to do it that way.
Oh, is that so? Ah, you're a very intriguing specimen. Very well, then. Very well. What's the harm? I'm not going to tell you what's happening in this town, then, but I will tell you. I will show you. Very well. And he kind of gets his kind of baby finger that has a long nail on it, and he kind of slits his cheek. Fresh drop of blood kind of trickles down his right cheek. Go ahead and have a taste. I'll show you what I know about sweet little Ven.
I'm gonna turn into a fucking vampire from this. My tail kind of whips up real quick as if it's like about to like hit him, but stops. And just with the tip of my tail, I'll wipe the drip off of the cut from the blood or from the slice.
Okay.
Now, for listeners, this wouldn't be something that Daemon would actually know about. Like a tasting of the bloodline, this is actually not something Daemon would know about. So this is kind of new for him, and he's hoping that this isn't a scam or a trick in that sense. But he will taste the bloodline, I guess.
You don't necessarily get a taste of his actual bloodline. He was being a little bit theatrical about it in that sense, but he does what is contained somehow through like maybe some magical effect that he has provided is you get a flash. It's like almost as soon as you taste the blood, it's almost like in that little nanosecond that taste fills your taste buds. You are told a story in pictures, but as soon as it's over, you just know what those pictures mean. You see well, it's pictures and sounds, but you see this drow in a large subterranean network surrounded by glyphs and writings on silken tapestry. I'll do a religion check in just a moment, but I'll continue on. Um, there's another flash and another sense of urgency. There seems to be a divide between the drow that live within this subterranean network and this person, this one particular drow woman who is with child, is forced to flee and reaches the surface outside the Crinell mines. She's hurt. She's sustained a numerous amount of wounds, and they appear to be kind of mortal wounds. And she cries out, reaches out to the sky, cries out, and this red tiefling in a suit is just standing by her side and offers her a deal. He is interested in her firstborn and will preserve the firstborn child, but she will perish. She agrees to this deal. The firstborn is born a tiefling and is left among the vent leaves outside the Crinell mines. And as the tiefling man lays the child down amongst the leaves, gently, he looks at her and says, "I have plans for you, my child." Well, now you know someone. The man you saw in that is my benefactor. I'm here to make good on his investment. That girl in there is cursed, and I'm to make sure that she most certainly becomes uncursed.
And what is his desire with her?
No, no, no. That was not part of the bargain. Shall I... What in blazes is going on here? What are you doing? Up. Blood for blood, my good man.
I'm sorry, my dear. Maybe you'd like to head back inside. This...
Should I get your friend?
No, not for the moment. He'll know if I need him, but I shouldn't do. Everything's fine here.
Oh, okay. She kind of hurries back in and closes the door rather swiftly.
As she shuts the door, I just grab his face, like across his whole, like, bottom jaw.
He's very entertained by this.
You want a fucking taste?
Mm-hmm.
You think
yes,
you can
I do.
handle it?
I certainly hope so.
Then stick out your tongue. Because as Daemon had been seeing that vision, he'd been digging his own fingers and nails into the palm of his hand, which is now wrapped around this man's face and mouth.
And in that moment, his eyes kind of widen, and he kind of pulls away from your hand. And he says, "Good God, old boy, and I thought my background was fucked up." The Mortem family. Oof. Good God, am I a lucky boy today.
And that's just what you know from me. If you know any of the histories of my family, you also know of the many atrocities.
I've heard stories of your old man. Oof. Well, I think we can do each other a favor here. I think we both want what's best for that sweet innocent child in there.
The difference is I want the best for her because she deserves to live a life that's happy and free. You want the best for her because it serves you, because you're underemployed. Is it payment, or does he have something on you?
It is a willingness to serve.
Now, that's very clever wording. I do enjoy such wordplay. A willingness to serve doesn't necessarily mean that you want to.
He kind of looks up to the starry sky, looks back at you. Well, that's a story for another day then. The question is, are you up for making a little bit of fireworks of our own? I only ask because there's a certain man in town who's doing some rather nasty business as we speak, and I think it would be in both of our interests if maybe there was a few more unhappy faces in Berinthas. Seems to be one too many smiles around here.
Now, that is something we can agree on.
Bravo.
But I will do this with you because, as you correctly say, there's something very, very wrong here. But I also want you to entertain the fact that in the future, before this becomes an issue of this girl being taken by your benefactor, I want you to consider two things. One, working with us, stopping your benefactor and therefore stopping the stuff that he's obviously trying to do, that he would make deals with people like he has. Two, the second thing I want you to consider is that if you don't, and any harm is to come to this innocent girl, what my father did down in the house would be absolutely nothing compared to what I will do to you.
You keep saying harm. There's never any ill intent, never any harm. But you have my word.
From you, maybe.
You have my word. As a gentleman.
That's yet to be decided.
Well, why don't you grab your little friend in there and we'll introduce a little bit of anarchy in Berinthas. And that's where we'll leave things for this episode of The Violet Madness. Thank you so much for listening. Our players tonight were Matt as Aelfric Ilnarin, Ali Mar as Mina Dumont, Ryan, also known as Deranged Rhino over on Twitch, as Daemon Filius Fiduced, and Stephen, your Paladin pal, as Sir Tirion Shadowbane, and also Dave at Emerald Collective Dave as Shadar Vicanis. And I've been Mark, your GM. If you've been enjoying the show, we'd love it if you took a moment to like, follow, or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. It really helps us find more people to join along in the madness. And if you want to keep the conversation going, come join us over at the Emerald Collective Discord server. It's a great place to share your favourite moments, theories, feedback, and to hang out with the community between episodes. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, stay vigilant and mind the madness.